Dealing with overeducated fools, I'm Brian Lilly with the Rebel.media. If you wanted to come up with a stereotype to mock the Toronto Red Star, their average reader, their average op-ed contributor, you couldn't do better than a column actually published by the Red Star today, one that says the Canadian International Air Show, Canada's oldest and largest air show, needs to be cancelled because it's morally repugnant and, well, it might disturb some refugees. That's right. A man named Craig Damien Smith, who describes himself as a PhD candidate in political science at the University of Toronto, is very concerned of the air show's existence. In the column, he writes this: "For most Torontonians, the Canadian International Air Show is at best a nuisance." He then goes on to describe how even the air show admits this by posting on their website that, like charity bike races or runs or auto races, that there can be noise and that can be a nuisance. He's offended even by their attempts to say, look, we know we make a bit of noise, but it's like an awful lot of things that make a great city great. No. To Craig Damien Smith, this is an outrage, and he writes, "The air show is nothing like a charity bike ride. In a city with a large population of refugee newcomers and people who have experienced the trauma of war, it is insulting, invasive, and violent. Last week, the world was presented with yet another heartbreaking image from Syria. 5-year-old Omran Daknish, sitting bloodied, covered in dust, shell-shocked after being rescued from the wreckage of an airstrike." I'll admit the air show does feature an awful lot of military aircraft, but what Craig Damien Smith, PhD candidate, fails to realize is that there's a difference between the good guys that would bomb a village and leave a 5-year-old boy shell-shocked and the good guys who are trying to save them. Canada's warplanes and those of our allies are used in the cause of good. We were, until recently, part of the international coalition trying to stop the bloodshed that is befallen people like 5-year-old Omran Daknish. We were part of that coalition. Many of our allies still are, and we're trying to stop it. But Craig Damien Smith, PhD candidate, can't see that. He doesn't distinguish between those who would leave a 5-year-old boy orphaned and those who want to stop the bloodshed. I'll tell you who can. I'll tell you who does understand the difference between the good guys and the bad guys, those that we're trying to save. Speak to anyone who has come to Canada after being rescued by Canadian forces. They know the difference between the good guys and the bad guys, whether it's someone in the 1940s who was rescued in Holland, had their village liberated more recently in places like Kosovo, or, yes, even in places like Iraq and Syria. They know the difference. Unfortunately, this overly educated fool has no clue. He's a downtown Toronto urban elitist who doesn't like the military at all. Listen to how he sums up the whole idea of an air show at the end. "Glorification of the tools of war is antiquated, regressive, and morally repugnant. It's something we deride in other countries and is contrary to everything good about Toronto." Well, Mr. Craig Damien Smith, what's good about Toronto is that it is in a free country. It is in a free land, and you are free to spew your foolish nonsense. You are free to put this rubbish in the pages of the Toronto Red Star and have people like me make fun of you for it. But you are free because we are part of an international coalition of free democracies that, yes, have their freedom guaranteed by militaries willing to do the hard work that you're not. They're willing to do the hard work that will free the people in Iraq and Syria, that freed people in Kosovo from genocide. You know, it's when we don't act that genocide and warfare continue. Think of Rwanda, think of the Holocaust. We didn't act in either one of those, and the results were horrendous, to say the least. We can't just turn a blind eye and wish the world into a better place. Sometimes it does require military force. And yes, some of us even like to see those tools of war, as you call them, flying through the skies. It's a scene of liberty for us. It is a scene of, well, our military might that does so much good around the world. Shame on you for your foolish thoughts, but even a bigger shame on the Toronto Red Star for granting you the space to spew your nonsense.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.